Alex was just an ordinary 17-year-old boy. He loved video games, spicy chips, and watching weird science videos on the internet. On that quiet Saturday night, he was sitting in his room, recording a silly video message for his future self. Note: to future Alex, he said into his webcam, "If you're still single, it's probably because you keep telling bad jokes." He laughed at his own joke. Not a real laugh, just the kind you give yourself to feel less lonely. Suddenly, the room light flickered. "Ooh, not again," Alex said, hitting the switch. But this time, the flicker was followed by a strange sound. A soft hum, like a microwave, but deeper. The kind of sound that didn't belong in any human home. His cat, Momo, jumped off the bed and hid under the table. Then he heard it, a voice, clear, cold, and strange. "You call that a joke, human? Let me show you what real humor looks like." Alex froze. He turned around slowly. There, standing in the corner of his room, was a girl. She looked about his age, but she was definitely not human. Her skin was a light shade of blue, like moonlight on ice. Her hair floated slightly, as if underwater. Her eyes were golden, literally gold, shining like coins, and her grin was wide and a little scary. How did you get in here?" Alex shouted, backing away. The girl tilted her head. "I used the wall frequency. Don't worry, it seals behind me. No one heard or saw a thing. What do you want?" Alex asked, reaching for his phone. "I'm Zira," she said, walking forward, ignoring the panic in his voice. "And you, Alex Human, have been selected for the Intergalactic Humor Exchange Program." "Oh, what?" Zira pulled a small device from her coat pocket. It looked like a mix between a TV remote and a toy gun. "I'm here to prove that my species understands humor. And you will be my judge," Alex blinked. "Okay, this is a prank. My cousin sent you, or it's a TikTok thing, right?" Zira smiled wider. "Your cousin has no clearance to communicate with Galactic." Zone 9. She raised the device and pressed a button. A floating coffee cup on Alex's table suddenly exploded. Not into fire, but into tiny confetti stars that danced in the air, glowing and spinning. "What the heck?" "That was my favorite mug," Alex cried. "That was a joke," Zira said proudly. Classic Zarnik's humor. Surprise kaboom, followed by glitter. Effect: you didn't laugh? Are you insane? That's not a joke, that's destruction. Zira's smile faded a little. Strange. The council said humans enjoy surprise humor. Your internet is full of it. Yeah, but nobody actually blows up stuff. We fake it. She said, tapping her chin. Perhaps your humor is more ... gentle. No, you're crazy. You can't just come into someone's house and start doing space tricks. Zira frowned. This is not a trick, it's my final exam. If I cannot make you, the selected human, laugh from the heart, I will be recycled. Alex stared. Recycled? Like thrown away? Broken down into energy parts and repurposed for educational chairs. Very uncomfortable. That single quotes s ... Exactly. So help me laugh. Or rather, help me make you laugh. That's the mission. Alex slowly sat on his bed, trying to understand what was happening. So let me get this straight, he said. You're an alien ... here to pass some kind of comedy test. And I'm your test subject? Correct. Your laugh frequency was chosen for its unique vibrations. I don't even laugh that much. Zira's eyes twinkled. Challenge accepted. She pointed the device again, and this time, a hologram appeared in midair. It showed Zira, dressed like a clown, slipping on a banana peel and falling into a pool of talking jelly beans. The jelly beans started shouting legal terms in high-pitched voices. Alex watched silently. Nothing? Zira asked, hopeful. He sighed. That was ... weird, like extra weird. Zira looked disappointed. I have 6 hours before my ship leaves. I need at least 3 real laughs to pass. Otherwise, chair parts. Alex rubbed his temples. Okay, I'll help. But no more blowing up my stuff. She grinned again. Deal, human, but in return, you must teach me what is funny to your species. Just then, the floating glitter stars began forming words. Level 1. Initiated. Laugh protocol active. Alex looked at Zira. This was no dream. This was real. And if he didn't help her pass, someone might die because of a joke, or worse. Earth might be next. Asterisk. The next morning, Alex woke up with cereal in his mouth, and an alien girl reading his diary. Dear Diary, Zira read aloud, grinning. Today I saw an alien, and she blew up. My mug. I think I might be in love. Signed, Alex the Brave. Alex choked. What the hey, that's private. Zira tilted her head. Relax, human. Your writing is amusing, full of self-pity and awkward emotion. I think I just got my first joke. That wasn't a joke. That was trauma. He groaned, snatching the notebook away. Zira blinked. Fascinating. So suffering is funny? No, Alex said. Well, sometimes never mind. Zira stood and pointed to the TV. Enough confusion. It's time to study your species' humor more closely. She pressed a button on her belt. Suddenly, his TV screen turned into a floating 3D projector. Dozens of videos appeared: memes, fail compilations, stand-up comedy, prank clips, cartoons. Zira's eyes sparkled. I downloaded 5,000 of your planets. Most watched funny videos last night. I intend to learn everything. Alex blinked. You watched 5,000 videos in one night? Sleep is for carbon-based species. I'm high-functioning plasma. That explains nothing. Zira turned to the floating screen. Let us begin. The first video played. A man got hit in the face with a pizza. Zira tilted her head. Is he hurt? Little, but it's funny because it's unexpected, Alex explained. She rewound the video, then again, then once more. Every time she stared harder, more focused. On the sixth replay, she smiled. Yes, I feel it. The start of a laugh. She paused. Should I throw pizza at your face? What? No. But it would be unexpected. That's not how it works. Alex groaned. You can't copy it exactly. Humor is about timing, setup, context. Context, Zira repeated. Yes. Let's explore your context. Before Alex could stop her, Zira pressed another button and the floating projector started showing Alex's personal photos, videos, and search history. Hey, stop that. He shouted. Double quotes, interesting. Zira muttered. You searched how to tell if your jokes are bad and funny alien TikTok ideas? You've been preparing for me. That was before you showed up. Then your instincts are better than I thought, she said. Scene change. Outside world. Zira dragged Alex outside. Where are we going? He asked. To test theories in a live environment, she said. Humans laugh more when others are around. Group psychology. You're gonna make people laugh in public? Of course. Isn't that what humans do? They walked to the nearby park. Kids played. Parents watched. Teenagers stared at their phones. Zira looked around like a scientist in a jungle. Then, she stood on a bench and shouted, Attention, humans. I am here to share advanced alien humor. Prepare to giggle or explode. Everyone stared. Alex wanted to vanish. Zira pulled out a banana, stared at it, then launched it into the air using her device. It flew up. Paused. Paused. Then turned into a flying hologram of a fish that screamed, I regret nothing. Two kids laughed. A dog barked. One old man said, What the hell was that? Alex facepalmed. You're gonna get me arrested. But laughter was achieved, Zira said proudly. One little girl approached Zira and said, Are you a robot clown? Zira bent down and whispered, I am a warrior of comedy, tiny human. Fear me. The girl screamed with joy and ran back to her mother. Zira turned to Alex. I am improving. Alex sighed. You're improving at chaos, not humor. She paused. Then show me. Show me what you think is funny. Alex thought for a moment. He pulled out his phone. Okay. This is a meme, he said, showing her a classic Doge meme with Comic Sans font. Zira stared. This dad is questioning the meaning of cheese. No, he's, never mind. Zira looked at Alex carefully. You don't laugh much, even at your own jokes. Yeah. Well, people don't laugh at them either. A pause. Zira sat on the grass. For the first time, her voice softened. You know, where I come from, laughter is rare. Most of us are built for logic and control, but sometimes we smile. And when we do, it's considered a superpower. Alex sat next to her. Humans use jokes to hide pain, and sometimes to survive it. Zira looked at him. Then perhaps I came to the right planet. Suddenly, a van with blacked-out windows stopped near the park. Two men in suits stepped out. One held a strange device that beeped rapidly when pointed toward Zira. Alex noticed. Friends of yours? Zira's face darkened. No, that's Earth Security Division. They must have tracked my landing signal. What do we do? Zira looked at him. Simple. She smiled. We run. But make it funny. Alex had never run for his life before, and definitely not with a blue-skinned alien girl yelling jokes over her shoulder. Why did the human cross the road? Zira shouted as they sprinted through the park. I swear, if you say to not get vaporized, I'm gonna cry, Alex panted. To not get vaporized. Zira finished proudly. A high-pitched beep, beep, beep rang behind them. The two agents in black suits were chasing fast. One of them held a glowing box. Every time it blinked red, it pointed straight at Zira. Alex looked back. They're gaining. I know, Zira said, pulling a device from her belt. Time for some improv comedy. Wait, nitrogen monoxide. Don't press random buttons. Too late. Zira clicked it. Suddenly, the road beneath them flipped up like a rug. The agents were launched into the air, screaming as they bounced into a nearby bush. A flock of birds flew away in panic. A small dog barked angrily at the sky. Alex stopped running. You just booby-trapped the sidewalk, Zira smiled. Physical. Comedy, classic technique. Effective too. You could have killed them. They still laughed a little on the way down. No, that was screaming. Zira looked thoughtful. On my planet, it's the same thing. Alex's garage. Now a classroom that night, Alex's garage became something strange, a comedy training camp. He'd locked the doors, covered the windows, moved boxes to make space. Zira sat in the middle on a stool, holding a notepad shaped like a glowing triangle. I'm ready, she said seriously. For what? Alex asked, still breathing heavily from the chase. For human humor school, Alex looked confused. You mean you want me to teach you jokes? You are my last hope. The final audience. Teach me your ways. Sensei of sarcasm. That's not a real title. It is now. Alex sighed, grabbed a whiteboard, and started writing. All right. Lesson 1. Timing. Zira nodded. What is timing? It's when you wait the perfect amount of time before saying the funny part. Like ... Why did the chicken cross the to eat the human? No, you wait. You killed the timing. Zira blinked. So the chicken dies too. Alex groaned. No one's dying. It's a joke. Comedy practice gone wrong. Zira stood in front of a fake crowd made from cardboard cutouts. Alex's old toys, a laundry basket, and a mannequin in sunglasses. Okay, she said. Let me try again. She cleared her throat. Knock, knock. Alex nodded. Who's there? Laser. Laser. Who? Laser your weapons, or Earth gets toasted. Silenced. Alex looked at her. That's not even a joke. That's a threat, Zira smiled. Yes, but a funny threat. Suddenly, the mannequin's head fell off. Zira clapped. Even he laughed so hard he lost his head. Alex covered his face. We're gonna get arrested. Why, it matters later. As they sat on the garage floor, surrounded by snack wrappers and broken joke props, Alex finally asked the question he'd been holding in. Why is this humor test so important to you? Why do aliens even care if we laugh? Zira looked at the ground. My people, we used to be funny, long ago. But we lost it. Everything became logic, orders, control. No jokes, no smiles. Just rules. She paused. Then we found Earth. A planet full of nonsense, pranks, laughter, chaos. It scared the council. Scared them? Alex asked. Zira nodded. Because laughter is power. It breaks control. It creates freedom. They wanted to erase it. But one elder believed we could learn from you instead. So, you're like the class clown on a mission? Zira smiled. The class clown. Or the last chance. Asterisk, someone's watching suddenly. The garage lights flickered. Zira's ears twitched. Did you hear that? Alex froze. Please tell me that's just my neighbor's cat again. Click. A red dot appeared on the wall. Click. Another. And another. Zira jumped up. We've been found. Alex backed away. The agents? No, she said. Something worse. A voice crackled through a tiny speaker hidden somewhere in the garage. Subject Zira. Humor contamination level. Unstable. Immediate retrieval ordered. Contamination? Alex asked. They think I've gone too human, Zira said, looking pale. They're going to erase my personality. Alex stood beside her. Then we better leave, now. Zira pulled something from her belt, a cube. She twisted it. A door opened in the garage wall. Not a normal door, a glowing doorway to somewhere else. What is that? Alex asked. My ship, Zira said. Small, smells like burnt popcorn, but it flies. You're kidding. No, humor is for later. Right now, we fly. Asterisk, the first thing Alex noticed when he stepped into the ship was the smell. Okay, he coughed. You weren't kidding about the popcorn. Burnt popcorn, Zira corrected, walking ahead. It's considered a luxury scent on Glarn 5. It smells like a microwave. Committed a crime. The inside of the ship was small, round, and full of glowing buttons Alex didn't dare touch. The walls pulsed like jelly. The seats were shaped like floating bowls. Everything hummed, like it was alive and half asleep. Zira dropped into the pilot's seat and started flipping switches. Is this thing even invisible? Alex asked, gripping the edge of his chair as the ship rose off the ground. Invisibility mode. Semi-functional. Zira replied. What does that mean? If they look directly at us, they'll still see us. But if they're distracted, it's like we're not there. Oh, great. So if someone blinks, we're safe? Exactly. The ship zipped upward, passing clouds like cotton candy on fire. Below, Earth looked peaceful. But Alex felt anything but calm. He looked at Zira. She wasn't smiling anymore. Tell me the truth, he said. Why me? Why not someone funnier? Someone who laughs more? Why pick a guy who's average? Zira didn't answer right away. She turned a knob and slowed the ship until they floated quietly above the city. Because you didn't laugh, she said. Alex frowned. What? I was programmed to find the person who doesn't laugh easily. Someone with emotional resistance, cold, quiet, guarded. She looked at him, her gold eyes soft. But then I found you. And I realized you're not cold. You're just tired. Alex didn't know what to say. She went on. Your laugh is hidden, and that's what they want. They want to know if your kind still has laughter hidden inside. If your world hasn't completely given up. Alex looked down. At the city, tiny cars, tiny lights, tiny lives. He thought about his school, his empty house, the jokes he told no one. So I'm a test subject, he asked. Zira nodded. The human experiment. One smile can save your world, or destroy mine. Before Alex could speak again, the ship beeped loudly. Zira's eyes widened. We're being locked. Locked? She pointed. At the screen, a red signal pulsed. They're pulling us in. They found us. The ship shook. Zira tried to fight it, pressing buttons faster. Who's they? The agents? No, not humans. Not anymore. Alex grabbed the side of the ship. Then who? Zira looked at him with a strange expression. My people. The ones who sent me. The Council of Laughter. The ship shuddered again. And then black. Alex woke up in a white room. No windows. No doors. Just light. Too bright. And too quiet. He sat up and saw he wasn't alone. Zira was floating. Not standing, floating, frozen midair, like a paused video. Zira. He shouted. She didn't move. A voice echoed through the room. Calm, mechanical, cold. Subject 9X Zira has exceeded emotional limits, contaminated with human empathy. Humor function compromised. Hey, Alex shouted at the ceiling. Put her down. Secondary subject. Alex human. Reason for selection. Resistant to laughter. Emotionally unresponsive. Ideal test host. I'm not a host, Alex snapped. And she's not contaminated, she's learning. The voice ignored him. You will now complete the humor sequence. If genuine laughter is not achieved in the next phase, both subjects will be erased. What kind of system is this? You're deleting people because they're not funny enough. Correct. Humor is survival. Failure means extinction. Wall opened. A chair came out. A screen lowered. A camera blinked on. Begin performance. Alex stared at the setup. You want me to perform? Tell a joke. Make us laugh. But I'm not a comedian. I suck at this. That is known. Proceed anyway. Alex turned toward Zira, still frozen. He took a deep breath. His voice shook. Okay. Here goes nothing. He stood in the spotlight and said the first thing that came to his head. So ... An alien walks into my bedroom. Blows up my favorite mug. Says she wants to save her species ... by making me laugh. He paused, and honestly ... I thought I was dreaming. Or losing my mind. Still silence, but then she called my diary sad and funny. She scared my cat. She almost blew up a hot dog cart. And somehow ... I started to care. No one laughed. Alex looked down ... and then almost by accident he chuckled. Wow, I do care. A beep. Laughter detected. Alex blinked. Wait ... counts. Real, unforced, internal humor. Passcode. Accepted. The lights dimmed. Zira dropped gently to the floor, gasping like someone waking from a dream. You laughed? She whispered. I did. Zira smiled weakly. Then we still have a chance. Alex looked around. What now? The ceiling opened. 100 glowing eyes stared down. Phase 2, begin. Judgment of Earth. Starts now. There was no sky, no floor, no walls. Just light, endless, pulsing, cold. Alex stood frozen in the center of it, surrounded by floating rings of eyes. Some were glassy, some blinking, some glowing like little stars. None of them looked human. None of them looked kind. Zira stood beside him, swaying slightly. Her skin was dimmer now, no more soft blue glow, just pale and cracked, like ice melting under pressure. The Council, she whispered. We're in their core chamber. Why does it look like a dentist's nightmare? Alex asked quietly. This is how they see justice, bright, empty, clean, no distractions, no pressure or anything. One of the eyes zoomed forward. It spoke without a mouth, just a deep sound inside Alex's brain. Subject 0. Your file is incomplete. Empathy levels exceed safe range. Humor experiment compromised. 0 didn't answer. She was barely standing. Another eye turned to Alex. Secondary subject. You showed signs of internal laughter. Verification required. I already laughed. Alex said, Isn't that what you wanted? Once is not enough. Once can be an accident. A test must be repeatable. A cube floated down between them. It opened slowly, unfolding like metal origami. Inside, a small holographic stage lit up. A mic, a spotlight. Empty chairs. Make us laugh again. Alex stared at it. You can't be serious. You're asking me to perform. Stand-up comedy. For an alien court. Correct. He looked at Zira. She met his eyes, her voice barely above a whisper. This is the final level. You laugh, we live, you fail. Alex nodded. I get it. He stepped onto the tiny holographic stage. The mic extended toward him. He cleared his throat. So, he began, his voice shaking. Earth humor. It's weird, right? Like, why do we laugh when someone trips over nothing? Why do we giggle when a dog wears sunglasses? Silence. Maybe because life is already kind of dumb, he continued. So when something dumb happens and no one gets hurt, we feel like it's okay to breathe. Still silence, he exhaled. I didn't laugh for a long time. Not really. People told me I was boring, too serious, not fun enough. And then, she showed up. He looked at Zira. Her head was down. Fading, she exploded my cup, scared my cat, tried to kidnap a hot dog cart, and called my diary tragically amusing. He smiled, just a little. And somehow that felt more real than anything else I've known. There was a long pause, then one of the eyes blinked. You are not performing. You are confessing. Alex gripped the mic tighter. Yeah, because that's what comedy really is. It's pain with a punchline. It's truth ... in a funny hat. It's surviving by laughing before the fear eats you. Zira let out a breath. Faint hum filled the air. One of the glowing eyes flickered, then turned yellow for a second. A quiet sound echoed, short, high-pitched. A laugh ... tiny, but real. Alex blinked. Wait, that was? The council said nothing. But another. I turned yellow. Then another. The laugh spread, small and strange and alien, but it moved like electricity. Zira lifted her head slowly, the cracks in her skin shrinking. You did it, she whispered. They're laughing. A glowing beam shot upward from the floor, filling the chamber with warm golden light. Laughter detected. Authentic, organic, contagious. Experiment passed. Earth remains classified as chaotically sentient. Destruction delayed. Alex dropped the mic. Wait, delayed? Your planet is still dangerous, but interesting. Further studies recommended. Zira slowly stood. Her glow returned. Then came a low hum. The chamber began to fade. One final voice echoed from the council. You are free. But remember, laughter is resistance. If your kind forgets how to laugh, we will return. The light vanished. And suddenly, Alex and Zira were standing back in his garage, just like nothing had ever happened, except the wall still had a glowing alien door in it. Alex turned to Zira, breathing hard. That was insane. Zira nodded. You made aliens laugh. That's rare. You could run your own galaxy show. Alex raised an eyebrow. You coming back? She pulled a small flat disc from her coat and handed it to him. It pulsed with a soft blue light. Press this if Earth ever stops laughing. He took it carefully. Zira smiled. Not a wide, scary grin. Just a real one this time. You're funnier than you think, human. And with that, she stepped through the door. It blinked once and vanished. Alex stood alone in his garage, holding a device from another world. He looked at it. And then, For the first time in a long time, he laughed. Asterisk. Alex hadn't laughed in 3 weeks. Not once. Not at a meme, not at a cat video. Not even when his best friend tripped over a beanbag in gym class and shouted, "The floor betrayed me." It was like something inside him had gone quiet. And not just inside him. Earth had changed. It started slowly, just whispers. Comedy channels vanishing, meme accounts going dark. Late night shows suddenly airing old reruns. People said nothing, but their eyes looked duller, their jokes quieter. Sarcasm disappeared first, then irony. Even bad puns died out. In one day, someone at school told a fart joke. No one laughed. They just stared. That's when Alex knew the council was watching. He walked home from school with his hood up, head down. The world looked the same: cars honking, birds flying, people rushing, but it felt like everyone was holding their breath. When he got home, the garage was still locked. The glowing disc Zira had given him sat untouched on the shelf, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. He stared at it for a long time. Maybe they'd lied. Maybe the test wasn't over. Maybe it never would be. That night, he dreamt he was on the alien stage again. Same blinding lights, same cold voices, but this time, Zira wasn't beside him. She was in the audience, frozen again, her skin cracked, her smile gone, and every time he tried to speak, the mic shocked him. He woke up sweating, the sound of static still in his ears. The next morning, it got worse. The news was dry and robotic. A new speech regulation order passed worldwide. No more comedy in classrooms, no more humor in public broadcasts. To maintain emotional balance, they said. But Alex remembered the council's warning. If your kind forgets how to laugh, we will return. At midnight, he stood in front of the disc. He stared at it. Then he pressed it. Nothing happened for a moment. Then dash click. A soft sound, like a whisper in reverse. A ripple through the air. And there she was. Zira. Standing in the garage. Like she'd never left. Only she didn't smile. Her skin was darker now, not glowing, but shadowed. Her eyes flickered strangely, as if 2 lights were fighting inside her. She looked around slowly. Her voice was different, lower, slower. "You called." Alex took a step back. "What happened to you?" "They sent me home," she said. "But..." "I didn't laugh. I couldn't. They said I failed again. That I'd spent too much time near you. That I became unstable." Her fingers switched, and then they did something new. "They tried to rewrite me." Alex swallowed. "Reprogram you." Zira nodded once, but I held on. "I remembered the joke you told about your cat and the laser pointer. I remembered... you, so I broke protocol. Escaped, but I'm different. Now," she stepped closer, "the council is preparing something bigger. They think Earth's infection is spreading across the galaxy. Emotion, humor, joy. They want to end it, forever." Alex shook his head. "But we passed the test." Zira looked up at him. They changed the rules. A long silence stretched between them. Outside, the world continued pretending nothing was wrong. Zira pulled something from her coat. A second disc, but this one was red. Faint cracks across the surface pulsed like veins. "This is a final trigger," she whispered. "If they launch the purge, this calls them off. But only if Earth shows undeniable proof that humor still exists. That it still matters." Alex stared at it. "How do we do that?" Zira met his eyes. "You start the rebellion," he blinked. "With what? Jokes? With truth disguised as comedy. Laughter disguised as resistance. You gather people who still feel, who still remember what it's like to laugh, even when everything hurts." Alex looked at the wall, at the empty mic stand still leaning in the corner. Then he looked back at her. He didn't smile, but something inside him cracked open, like the first sound before a laugh. And he nodded. Zira handed him the disc. "Make Earth funny again. It began with a knock-knock joke, just 2 words, whispered through a classroom wall. Knock knock. Double quotes, no answer. Not yet. But it was enough. The rebellion had started. Alex stood in front of the abandoned comedy club downtown. The lights hadn't worked in years, the paint was peeling, and the old neon sign buzzed like a dying fly. But inside, the stage still stood. The mic still waited. And this time, it wasn't just for aliens. People had come, dozens at first. Then hundreds. Not because he was famous. Not because they believed, but because they were tired of being quiet. Because deep down, something inside them missed laughter. Not fake smiles or polite chuckles, but real, unfiltered, stomach-hurting, breath-stealing laughter. The kind that reminded you were still alive. Zira stood in the wings, cloaked in shadows. Her light had returned, faint but steady. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. This was his moment. Alex stepped up to the mic. No music. No spotlight. Just silence. Then he began. Why don't skeletons fight each other? He said, voice calm. People blinked because they don't have the guts. A few giggles. Some rolled eyes. But it was something. He smiled. Just a little. My name is Alex. I'm not a stand-up comic. I'm just a guy who almost let the world forget how to laugh. He walked across the stage, voice growing stronger. 3 months ago, I met a girl who wasn't from here. She didn't understand knock-knock jokes, thought exploding a coffee cup was hilarious, and told me I had the emotional range of a rock. The crowd chuckled. She also said laughter is resistance. That joy is a weapon. That comedy is survival. And you know what? She was right. He pointed to the back of the room. Look around. They tried to shut it down. To make humor illegal. To erase every silly, weird, awkward part of who we are. But here you are, still laughing. People started clapping. Slowly, then louder. And somewhere far above, something shifted. A thin ripple in the sky, invisible to most. But not to her. Zira stepped forward. Her eyes turned gold again. It's working, she whispered. They see it. Alex nodded. He raised the mic again. And one more thing. To the ones watching from space. He looked straight up as if speaking through the roof, through the clouds, into whatever machine or mind was listening. You said we forgot how to laugh. He paused. Then you clearly never watched someone trip on nothing, spill coffee, apologize to a chair, and pretend it didn't happen. The crowd laughed harder this time, a real wave, like sound punching through glass. The roof lights flickered. The ground trembled, not from danger, but from something waking up. In the sky, clouds spiraled open. A beam of soft yellow light fell over the city. And a voice, ancient, mechanical, but almost amused, echoed faintly through every speaker, every phone, every silent screen. Laughter detected. Resistance confirmed. Humor active. Zira stepped onto the stage beside Alex. Her glow now full, bright. She looked at him, eyes full of something. Almost human. You did it. Alex looked back at her. No, he said, pointing at the crowd, at the city, at the stars above. We did. She grinned wide. And for the first time since they met, she said it with pride. And you say I'm not funny, human. The crowd erupted, not just in laughter but something deeper. Joy, freedom, relief. And as the alien eyes watching from above blinked shut and faded away, Earth laughed harder than it had in decades, because they remembered that even at the edge of silence, single joke could save the world.